So what's up, guys? Miles back with another video. On today's video, I want to talk about a movie I was recently researching, a movie that I've watched before, and maybe a movie that you guys have watched before too, that I think is pretty interesting. It brings up a good point on life itself. I think this will be a good insight for you guys to take and to apply to your life, and to I feel like this video will save you from a lot of drama, a lot of heartache, a lot of goofy situations that we find ourselves in as people. And I feel like if we eliminate this one thing, we'll be successful, we'll be a lot better off in our own lives and everything. So without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. On today's video, I want to talk about how we should play life, or lessons that we've learned, or that I've learned, that I want to express to you guys on the Hateful Eight, when it comes to the Hateful Eight. Now, if you don't know the Hateful Eight, or if you haven't watched it, it's basically a group of people that have done a lot of crazy stuff in society, in their own society. It's kind of like a Western, it's kind of like an 1800s, because some of the characters are Confederate soldiers, and some of the characters are Union soldiers, and then some of the characters are outlaws, and you've got bounty hunters. So literally all walks of life that are what society would say evil, or cold-blooded or killer type. They're all literally in the same room, right? And they all tell stories and tell different ways of doing things and how they came up, pretty much to deceive each other so they can ultimately kill each other and get off this building, or get out this building that they're in, because they're stuck in the winter in this building, and it gets violent and people start dying, but all that. But that's not the whole gist of why I wanted to make the video, right? One of the critical points within that video, or within that movie, is that people often are deceivers with words, right? And if you haven't learned this already, you need to learn it right now, because guys, people lie like a motherfucker, right? Everybody's saying shit that they really hadn't done. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about somebody that you just newly met. They could be saying anything. It could be the truth. It couldn't be the truth. It could be the farthest thing from the truth. But you can't really tell, because you haven't learned that person long enough. So you really got to take what they say with a grain of salt, right? And oftentimes, and I feel like this happens, or has happened whenever, back in the Shakespearean days, when you're writing beautiful poetry, you're writing all these beautiful stories, all these things that make us feel emotionally good. We got these people in power, presidents, mayors, governors, even musicians or whoever, that say these beautiful and elegant words that touch our emotions and touch us in a certain way, to make us feel a certain way, so that we'll vote for them. But if you look at their actions, it doesn't line up. They just say that, and they haven't really backed up anything that they said, right? And how many times, I want you guys to comment below, like, how many times have you guys dealt with this, right? How many times have you been screwed over with listening to what somebody has said, and later finding out that it was nothing close to what they were like? Leave your comments below on that. So, guys, you're really in today's society, and especially in American society. And I was reading a book. I think it might have been watching a video, right? But he brought up a good point. It's like whenever he went over to Russia, I think it was Mark Manson and Settle R, I don't give a fuck. He was in Russia, and he was talking about, he was going on dates with these girls, right? And literally, the language in Russia, or like how people address you in Russia, are extremely direct, right? So he would tell me, or like he would write in his book, and I was reading it, that he would give numerous stories about how those women would literally call him out on the dates, like say shit like, Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? What does that mean? Literally questioning to make sure he's authentic, right? Which means that the culture is different over there. They need people to be authentic and true to themselves because it depends on their survival. They need to know who they can depend on, and that starts with their words. So Russian culture is big on that, and that's what he said in his book. And he brought up a good point about America, right? In our culture, we're a capitalist society. We're always selling something, right? And if you know anything about selling, you kind of got to over exaggerate sometimes to get people to buy into what you're doing. So, in America, it's beneficial for you to over exaggerate, to be overly confident, to do that, because that's what people want. That's how you sell products. That's how you get, sales. That's how you make money, right? And so telling the truth and being authentically ourselves, it turns us off because, we want something that's kind of over exaggerated. We're so used to that we want somebody that's extremely confident to come in and try to sell us something. Right. So that's a good point. Our culture here is a way different than it is other places. Right. So we have to address the fact that in today's society that you can't trust what people say. You have to trust the actions and literally verify the actions to make sure they line up to what they are doing. And that's how we know if that person is a real person or not, if that person is a real person or not. Now, warning, you're going to come across a lot of people that are going to disappoint you. I'm just going to keep it real, keep it 100. You're going to be like, damn, I thought such and such was a real person, but now they were just deceiving me the whole time. How many times does this happen in relationships in general, right? You got a girlfriend, right? Or if you're a girl, you got a boyfriend, and then you literally everything is going good 6 months, a year, and then you find out some stuff that they were doing such and such and such and such, and that this is what their past was, or this is the things that they were caught up in back in the day. All that stuff is deception, lying, not being true, right? And the only way that I've found that you can find out if somebody's real or not is, it just takes time. It takes years, right? Because people can hide lies and do everything for months. But it's hard to hold that in. It's hard to hold that in for years, right? Eventually, the true colors have to come out. That you have, the authentic self has to come out eventually, and it will come out if you guys are paying attention to it, right? So. And one quick thing, one thing about this with words, and I'm gonna go on a little quick rant, is that, see, with men we can't be when it comes to us or us generally, it's harder for us to get caught up in words because we're not as emotional, right? We can hear somebody say something like, okay. But women on the other side, they can get gotten at any moment, and it's really disheartening. It's really frustrating to see that women, how easily they are deceived by words, right? And if they truly understood how predatory men can be sometimes, they would really wake up. Because I cannot tell you how many times. Guys, how many times have you told a woman that you were friends with, your sister, that such and such is a goofy person, don't mess with him, he's a stupid person, and she literally ignored all that and went through the process of going through all that, and then she went through all this heartbreak and trauma and excessive drama to find out that he was just a fucking phony. How many times? I promise you, this happens all the time, and I hate that about women because they're so emotional, and when you tap into that emotional center, you guys know what I'm saying. right? And I just hate that because they're so easily manipulated. And, you know, they try to portray themselves as strong and independent. You might know you're not. You're easily deceived by words and easily deceived by men, especially high-profile men, right? So, but anyway, it's a little quick rant. I went off on a little tangent right there. Moral of the story, guys: verify people before you start listening to the words in today's society. It'll save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain, a lot of goofy and drama situations, right? Pay attention. Never trust nobody on the first meeting, second meeting. It takes years. It takes time to really know a person and to verify that you're a good person. So like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. Leave your comments below what you guys believe or what you guys think about this. Have a good day, good week. We out.